115 miles from Orlando, 680 miles down I-95 from Raleigh to beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida, the home of the Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. From Tropicana Field, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays. North Carolina State with an incredible turnaround from last year to this year. Meanwhile, UCF seeking its third straight 10-win season. Some standout moments for Dave Doran and George O'Leary's clubs this year.
Fades a blitzer, throws over the middle, caught. He's got a clear field, touchdown. Going to the 5, he broke the plane, touchdown Pack.
Holman has time to unload it. He fires it high, he fires it deep. Perriman's out there, and he caught it for the touchdown. He caught it for the touchdown. UCF wins it.
And one of the signature plays of the college football season got UCF a share of its second straight American title. Adam Amin, John Congemi, Kaylee Hartung in a moment as well. Delighted to be here. UCF, as we said, looking for that double-digit win season for the third straight time. This is a team that won the Fiesta Bowl last year, had to replace Blake Bortles. And you know what? Justin Holman has really progressed as the season has gone on.
He's done a terrific job, Adam, just controlling the offense. He has all the intangibles you look for in a quarterback. He has size, he has smarts, he has athleticism, but he's still a sophomore, so an unfinished product at the quarterback position. He has a weapon on the outside in Brashad Perryman. It's a matchup nightmare for defenses because of his size at 6'3" and his ability to catch the football away from his body. 30 straight games with the reception, 7 straight with a touchdown. It's a 1-2 punch after a tough running game that can beat you over the top.
Meanwhile, North Carolina State is one of the most balanced offenses in college football, and Jacoby Brisset is a real epitome of that.
Well, he protects the football in the passing game, Adam, and that's very important. 22 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, and he gets the ball out on time. And the one thing his head coach really likes about him, Dave Doran, it's his visible will to win. He wants that to be contagious, not only on offense, but on defense and special teams. Remember, this is a team that's trying to go from 3 wins with a victory tonight to an 8-win season.
UCF won the toss, as they usually do, elected to receive. Nicholas Sadie kicking to Jordan Akins, and off we go from St. Pete. And out to the 25-yard line will come the UCF Knights. This is Justin Holman, had to replace Blake Bortles, replace Pete DeNovo in the opening game of the season against Penn State, and started the next 11.
And he's only a sophomore, and he's still putting all the pieces together to be a complete quarterback, but he's making more decisions from the pocket that you like as a coach and you like as a wide receiver, because he's protecting it, his percentage is starting to go up, and he's starting to look and feel like a big-time quarterback. Good sign for Central Florida.
Needed a Hail Mary to beat ECU and grab a share of its second straight American Conference title. On first down, it's William Standback, picking up a couple of yards, running into B.J. Hill. Second down and 8 coming up. As we said, Holman has really developed as the season has gone on. This UCF team, especially on offense, made significant improvements from about game number 7 on. The second half of the season, this team really seemed to find its stride offensively. Four receivers in the set, and another give to Standback. The All-American Conference player takes it out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And John, let's take a look at our impact players.
Well, we've seen Standback twice. He's the perfect fit for this offense. He's a one-cut runner, and he likes to go north and south. And Perriman on the outside, 41 receptions. 17 of those have gone for 20 yards or more this season. On the defensive side, Art Norman for NC State. He's undersized at 6 foot at defensive end, but he makes plays, 6.5 sacks. And Akeem Jones from that secondary, second on the team in tackles. He'll have to come up and fit the run.
Rennell Hall, as he did often with his injured running backs, lines them in the backfield. On third down, Holman zips one over the middle for a first down to one of our impact players, Brashad Perryman. For the first time tonight, we join the third member of our team. Hello, Kaylee Hartung.
Hey, Adam, do you want to go through that again? That was the question Dave Doran posed to his team in the offseason following last year's 3-9 campaign. He said the challenge was to get everybody moving in one direction. He and his players feel they've done that. They got some motivational help from former NFL Pro Bowler Eric Thomas. He came and spoke to the team and asked them, what percentage of yourself were you giving in games last year? That honesty yielded answers of 70, maybe 80%. He asked, how much further could you go if you give 100? While he said, we can't put a number on that effort they've given this season, the proof is in the 4 additional wins, maybe 5, if the Wolfpack take care of business tonight.
One of the biggest turnarounds in college football. 3 wins last year, gunning for number 8. TCU has had the biggest turnaround from last year to this year. The 4-win turnaround for NC State equals Mississippi State's for second most in the FBS. William Stanback on 2nd and 2 into North Carolina State territory, chopped down by Hakeem Jones. And John, your keys on this side of the ball when the Knights are on offense.
Well, get the playmakers involved, and that has started already with Stanback getting the carries and Perriman on the outside. Those are the 1-2 punch that need to touch the football. And for NC State defensively, it's pressure the line of scrimmage. They have to be able to do that, and it's been a midseason philosophy change on the defensive side for Dave Huxtable, their defensive coordinator. More pressure, more stunts, more fits up front to stop the run.
On 3rd down, Holman, another zip over the middle and another first down catch for Perriman inside the 30. When you need a big play on the outside, Perriman will get 15 yards for you.
If I'm offensive coordinator Charlie Tapp for UCF, I wear out this combination. I don't think there's a defensive back that's wearing a white jersey tonight that's going to have an easy time staying in front of Perriman, because he makes great cuts and he has great size, so he keeps that big body in front of the defender.
Rennell Hall, normally a wide receiver, but played some running back this year, taken down for a loss by Tim Buckley in the backfield. Hall had to deal with running back duties when William Stanback and Dontravius Wilson were both out for good chunks of the season, 2 games apiece late in the year.
Adam, that's one thing to watch for from NC State's defensive front 7. Negative plays on 1st down. If they can get the Knights behind the chains on 1st and 2nd down, it puts more pressure on the pocket and quarterback Justin Holman.
The 10th play of this drive is a 2nd and 12 with pressure coming up the middle. Holman throwing towards the end zone, and it is overthrown for Perriman. Justin Burris had the tight coverage on him. Both men hit the deck, and it brings up 3rd down and long. Burris making his 28th straight start, trying to stay with Brisset.
Well, let's credit Burris on the outside. He had good position on the big wide receiver on the outside, and Brisset Perriman put his body up. He matched 11 with 11 on the outside and did a terrific job on 2nd down.
11th play of the drive coming up, and 3rd and long. And let's see if North Carolina State, which you did a lot late in the season, pins its ears back.
They've been trying those in cuts the last couple conversions.
They bring a little bit of late pressure. Thrown underneath across the field for Hall, and a good play by Tim Buckley, the nickel back in this 4-2-5 defense, stopping Hall to bring up 4th down.
That was a good decision by Justin Holman on 3rd and long. Get what you can and make it a lot easier for your kicker to come in and attempt this field goal. He wasn't greedy, and I think that's what his coach is telling him. Take what's there, make it a little bit easier on 4th down for this conversion.
And Sean Moffitt, the all-time UCF leader in field goals and points. The senior from Orlando will try from 40 to get the Knights on the board. And Moffitt, who hit 4 of them against East Carolina in the finale, has hit 52 in his career at UCF. A 40-yarder, and UCF on top to start the night.
Terrific scoring drive by UCF. 11 plays, 52 yards. They get the 3 points. We got to see Holman at quarterback, find Perriman on the outside, a little north-south running with William Stanback, the running back, the outstanding running back for UCF. But a good defensive stand as well. They keep him out of the end zone. The Wolfpack rally on 3rd down. They get a negative play on 1st down. So I know Dave Dorn feels happy about coming off the field there.
Nichols took over kick return duties the last 3 games. And will run out for a touchback. Out to the 25 come the Wolfpack, and Jacoby Brisset sat out last year after transferring from Florida.
Quarterbacks are always extremely competitive, but this guy might take it to the next level. He's athletic. He can extend plays with his legs, and he just has that burning, driven desire to win. And that's what you need out of your leader. He has great size at 6'4", terrific job protecting the football, only 5 interceptions to 22 touchdown passes, and he's 2nd on the team running the football. So if things break down, Jacoby knows how to handle that pressure and move the chains with his legs.
And Brisset, running one of the most balanced offenses in the country, will have 4 wide and hand it off. Popped at the line. Jalen Samuels got hit hard by one of the best linebackers in the American, Terrence Plummer. No gain.
Not only is Terrence Plummer vocal in the middle of that Central Florida defense, but he's active. 92 total tackles, make it 93 now. and he gets everybody lined up. That's a key for that middle linebacker position. Get everybody organized, get their eyes on the football.
And Brisset will spread it out once more on 2nd and 10. Fires on the slant, and it's caught. Catch made by Alston, the sophomore out of North Carolina. Jonathan Alston picks up 9 to make it a manageable 3rd down situation here.
Adam, one of the young wide receivers for the Wolfpack. They've got a bunch of sophomores on the outside that have done a terrific job hand catching the football away for their body, and they have the ability to run after catch. Now, 3rd and short, you're hoping that Thornton, the big running back, might get his first opportunity to go north and south.
Brisset, design quarterback run for the 1st down. Slips 1 tackle and powers to the 45-yard line. Runs for 11 to move the chains, keep this drive alive, and our impact players when the Wolfpack are on offense.
Well, Brisset ran the football from the quarterback spot, but look for Cedric Thornton. He's a downhill physical runner, as well as Bo Hines on the outside. He leads the team with 42 receptions, only a freshman. We talked about Plummer in the middle of that defense at linebacker. He's vocal and he's a playmaker. But Geathers from the secondary, he's big and he's physical. At 6'2", 208 pounds. He's going to have to come out of that secondary to help with some run fits.
Here is Thornton on the stretch. And tackled by Plummer right at midfield. North Carolina State, as we said, very balanced, almost dead even in passing yards and rushing yards this season. Right up there with the likes of Ohio State and Nevada and Washington as some of the more balanced offenses in the country. And that's what Dave Doran had when he was at Northern Illinois, when he had Jordan Lynch, a guy who could run very well, is almost like a tailback, but could pass the ball too.
Yeah, Lynch could run, but he can't throw like Jacoby Brisset. So they don't want to throw it 60 times a game. They'd love to create some balance tonight, especially against a stingy defense from Central Florida.
Deep drop for Brisset with the pocket collapsing. He can extend plays with his legs and does so here for a 1st down. Runs into Troy Gray at the 39-yard line. He's their 2nd leading rusher. Not a ton of designed run stuff, a lot of scrambling, but man, this kid's special when he wants to keep plays alive.
Adam, we talked about his visible will to win, and this is all about will. This is trying to find a way to make a play to keep it alive and move the chains. He doesn't want to run a whole bunch, but if he's pressed into it, he knows what to do with the football.
North Carolina State just got a sideline warning after that nice play by Brisset. And keep that in mind as we move forward. Nearly halfway through the opening quarter, 1st drive of the game for North Carolina State after UCF got a field goal. They averaged 6.7 yards on 1st down. A nice hit by Shaquan Burkett to stop Thornton after a gain of just 3 yards. That was what we were talking about. Very good on 1st down in that balanced offense.
Offensive coordinator Matt Canada talked about it. He couldn't preach about it enough. We want to stay balanced, and that counts when you add in the running of Jacoby Brisset. Defensively, it's 1, 2, 3, and out. They want to be able to force those 3 and outs. A high percentage of drives have ended up without a 1st down. This one isn't one of them from UCF.
Five in the pattern, out of the gun for Brisset on 2nd down. And a nice throw over the middle behind David J. Greenidge, but he was able to twist around and take it to the 19-yard line.
Terrific job by David J. showing you some athleticism over the middle. This is a big body at 6'5", and watch him just idle down and gently reach back to catch that football.
Going tempo for the 1st time tonight, and Bo Hines, their leading receiver as a freshman, gets taken down in the open field after a short pickup. Clayton Geathers was there on the stop.
Adam, this is the same situation that the Wolfpack defense was in just minutes ago. Backed up in the red zone. Can Central Florida hold Jacoby Brisset and company and all the athletes on the outside out of the end zone? Big key to answer early in this game.
Going up against one of the best defenses statistically in college football. How does UCF's defense look against an upper echelon Power 5 team? Thornton is going to throw it towards the end zone. What a catch! Touchdown! Jalen Samuels! Shadrack Thornton throwing it to Samuels, the true freshman, for a touchdown. What a play.
Unbalanced line to the short side of the field. They sneak out Samuels, and it's a heck of a catch over the outstretched arms of Brandon Alexander. This is just a will to go up and get the football and take it away in the end zone. Huge play, great design by offensive coordinator Matt Canada. Unbalanced short side, little pitch and catch on the outside to get you going.
Sadie adds the extra point, and how about that opening drive from North Carolina State, going 75 yards on 9 plays. There's Matt Canada, the second-year offensive coordinator for the Wolfpack, drawing it up, and the Wolfpack putting it through. Shadrack Thornton with a touchdown pass to the freshman Samuels. Pack on top. True freshman out of Charlotte with his first career reception for a touchdown. He's got 4 catches in his career. He makes them count, doesn't he?
He sure does, and he makes them look easy. That's the big thing.
Jalen Samuels on the receiving end of a Shadrack Thornton touchdown pass for North Carolina State to take a 7-3 lead. Both teams scoring on their opening possessions to start off this Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. Tropicana Field, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays, the site. UCF co-champions of the American, seeking a 3rd straight 10-win season for the first time. North Carolina State looking for the, what would be, at least for the time being, the 2nd biggest turnaround in college football from last year to this year. Adam Amin, John Congemi, Kaylee Hartug here in St. Pete at the Trop. Nicholas Sadie in his 51st career start, a touchback machine. Forces UCF to the 25-yard line. UCF from the 33-yard line, and William Stanback breaking a tackle and breaking free out across the 45 to the 47-yard line. 14 yards for William Stanback, the sophomore out of New York who missed some time with injury. A good run here.
Stanback is the perfect back for the style of offense that George O'Leary, his head coach, likes to run. It's physical, it's downhill, it's one-cut running, and that's exactly who number 28 is.
Missed 3 games over the course of the season, 2 of the final 3 as well. Returned in the regular season finale, had a very good game in that win over East Carolina. Off play action. Justin Holman over the middle, and it's 3 times that Brashad Perriman has ran a similar route right down the middle of the field for a first down. This one to the 34 of the Pack.
Adam, it's a great pitch and catch, but it could have been better. If this ball's positioned out in front of Brashad Perriman, he might be able to run through that catch and might go out the other side down the sidelines. If he gets this in stride, see the separation between wide receiver and corner? If that ball's on time and on target, Perriman might still be running to the far pylon.
First down and 10, option play, late pitch. And what a nice move by Josh Reese, who runs it for the 4th time this season and runs it for 6 yards. Run down by Jermaine Pratt, the safety. And that'll take us to the end of the opening quarter here at the Trop. UCF, a lot of different weapons, and they've used a whole lot of them in that opening quarter of play. But North Carolina State has the lead in the 3rd meeting between these 2 teams. They've split in a home and home, and they're playing in the St. Petersburg Bowl presented by Bitcoin tonight. Getting set for the 2nd quarter here from the Trop. Happy holidays to you and yours. Hope you had a very good week. North Carolina State leading UCF 7-3 in the Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. UCF driving inside the 30-yard line of North Carolina State. What a great crowd. UCF talked about it when we talked with George O'Leary this week. Really happy to actually have a home game.
That's right.
Not a lot of fans, actually, not as many fans got to travel to the Fiesta Bowl last year. Not that bad of a trip either from Raleigh to come down to Tampa St. Pete. Holman on 2nd down. Looking over the middle, and Ronell Hall able to slip out of a tackle for that first down catch. Finally, Wright brings him down after a pickup of 5 yards to move the chains for UCF.
Central Florida wide receiver showing toughness. We've seen Perriman go over the middle, and now you see Hall. He's not as big as Perriman, but he has the same type of toughness it takes to catch the football in between the hashes.
Missed the opener against Penn State, had a couple of games out with an injury to his hamstring. Holman has that swing pass to Hall, and this time it was a dangerous one with a defender and Mike Rose in the area. Their team leader in tackles for loss, plays in the backfield a lot for North Carolina State's D, and it brings up 3rd and 9.
And the Wolfpack played that perfectly. Man coverage, you get a linebacker running outside, pressure up the middle. Rose was on the outside, Noel was on the inside, and they had that covered to perfection.
They need to get to the 13. Just a 4-man rush. Holman. And a first down catch inside the 10 for Josh Reese.
It's the middle of the football field where the Knights are attacking, and they're doing it through the air. Good pocket awareness and a good feel for where he needed to be to buy some time in Justin Holman. He throws a strike to the redshirt senior Josh Reese, who comes up with a big catch and a big hit over the middle.
Noel delivered the blow. 1st and goal. Holman with a good pocket to throw from, and he throws to the end zone for Josh Reese. UCF leads.
Terrific job owning the middle of the football field again. This is a great timing pass. Another in-cut route on the outside. Holman fits that football into a tight window.
Extra point for Moffitt. 3-point Knights lead.
Justin Holman feels at home right here. He gets in the shotgun. He's owning the middle of the football field, and he's being productive from the pocket, finding open receivers.
UCF has jumped out in front. 10-7 lead. There is Thomas Teal, who we saw take a hand to his right eye seemingly. You see the swelling developing on the right side of his face. He's going to head back towards the dressing rooms and be tended to by the training staff of North Carolina State, their defensive tackle. Sean Galvin will kick away once again for the Knights, who won 9 of their final 10 games. Their lone loss in that stretch to Connecticut. A tough loss in bad conditions. DeQuay Nichols from a yard deep. Redshirt freshman will get spun down out across the 20. 1st and 15. Off the fake. And a quick throw into the flat for Jalen Samuels, who has that touchdown for North Carolina State. Fights for good yardage out across the 25.
Like the call by offensive coordinator Matt Canada. Get a little bit back after the penalty. Just dink and dunk and try to get back into 2nd, 3rd, and manageable. So Jacoby Brisset does a good job. Play action. Gets the ball outside with quickness and accuracy. And Matt Canada trying to play his way to get himself into a better field position. Flip the field for his offense.
Here's Shadrack Thornton. And Thornton getting close to the marker and should have enough for the first down to the 33-yard line. Miles Pace there on the stop, the redshirt junior out of Miami. And it moves the chains for the Pack.
Patience at the running back spot is always your friend. Watch how patient Thornton is, the junior running back. He's able to bob and weave and get behind those big offensive linemen to move the sticks. Terrific second. It was a short run at him, but a good patient run.
You see 9 rushes, 5 passes. Again, for the most part, this is one of the most balanced offenses in college football. 5 in the pattern for Brisset on 1st down, and a good sip on that pass caught by David J. Greenidge. The forward progress was at the 42-yard line as he got driven back, and he picks up 9 yards.
What I like most about Jacoby Brisset this year when you watch him play is his decisiveness from the pocket. Back foot hits, transfer that weight and step into the football. Step into that throw on the curl route. Receiver come back to you. That's how you draw it up.
22 touchdowns, 5 picks. That's it. 2nd down and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. And a 1st down for Thornton. Got hit hard by Clayton Gathers. But it's enough to keep this drive alive to the 45-yard line. Jacoby Brisset actually has played on this field before. He was an Under Armour All-American before he went to the University of Florida, and the Under Armour game, which you can see on ESPN next week, is played here at Tropicana Field, so he knows these conditions and some of the lighting. It can be an issue at times. The field can be as well.
I think it might be time for one down the field here. We're getting in that area for Jacoby. Throw one down the field.
The fake to Days, well protected.
Wide
Shot
open.
down the middle, open man. First down and more. Jonathan Alston, touchdown. Longest play of the game on either side, John, 37 yards.
Terrific patience, and he was wide open down the middle of the football field. All he had to do was wait for Jonathan Alston to clear the underneath coverage, and Brisset found him by himself at the far side hash mark, and then tough running inside the 5 to get into the end zone.
Bauman the holder, Thompson the snapper, Sadie the kicker have all been together for over 50 games. And back and forth we go. North Carolina State with a 78-yard drive to take the lead.
Terrific patience in the pocket, good protection, and then a strike down the field by Brisset. Gets the Wolfpack again in the end zone.
Jonathan Alston had one touchdown reception all year. It came against the #1 team of the country, Florida State. His second of the season puts the Wolfpack in front by 4 on a very impressive play and maybe some blown coverage by UCF.
It was, because the linebacker that lines up over the top, Shaquan Burkett, he's going to let him pass without putting a hand on him. Then he goes to cover air to the outside, out by the numbers. The safety, Clayton Geathers, goes off to the middle of the football field, and it creates a huge void for Jonathan Alston. All he had to do was turn his head, look for the football, and good timing by Jacoby Brisset. If you miss that one, you want to come off the field, because that was picture perfect for an offense. Good distribution by spacing by the wide receivers to spread out that secondary.
Sadie with another booming kick. Perfect on the night so far. No returns for UCF. As this drive for UCF starts from the 25, off play action looking for Perriman. Overthrown by Justin Holman. Just his 5th incompletion on 15 passes so far. Born in Tuscaloosa, a very serious student as well. Holman, a biology major, very smart kid. You saw him start to find his stride maybe about 5-6 games into the year.
The adjustment they need to make on that short corner route is it's almost like a banana route. They have to throw him short and let Perriman come back. He's leading him up the field towards the defensive back.
Second down and 10. Give the stand back. Just seeking space and not much there. And T.Y. McGill helped to knock him down. McGill's a hard hitter. He knocked Marquise Williams out of that regular season finale against North Carolina.
Looked like there was some room outside the tackles that time. There's a time to stick your head in the middle between the tackles, and there's sometimes you want to bounce that outside, and stand back more times than not makes the correct decision. Danny Barrett, the running backs coach, always on him trying to make the right decisions for UCF.
Knights have been good on 3rd down so far against a struggling 3rd down defense. Corner blitz coming for the Wolfpack. Perriman was the vacated receiver, and a better throw might have gotten him a 1st down.
You know, the one thing you've seen out of UCF offensively, and we saw this earlier in the season, Charlie Taft, the offensive coordinator, sometimes he has to tell Justin Holman, the quarterback, hey, everything's not a fastball.
Yeah.
You know, let's try to locate the football, because he had Perriman a couple times in that series wide open.
Houston with a bullet punt, and a fair catch immediately signaled by the freshman Hines. Near the 25-yard line, a 43-yard punt. 8 to play first half. North Carolina State, the lead in the ball when you come back to the peak. And NC State trying to make it a 5-win turnaround from last year.
Yeah, we have a team right in front of us tonight trying to go from 3 wins to 8 wins. And you can tell the way they're playing, you know, the way the Wolfpack have energy on offense and defense, special teams. It's a different ball club from last year.
UCF's crowd trying to make some noise as the Pack start from the 24-yard line. And an end around for Brian Underwood. Shuffling those feet and moving backwards. Nowhere to go. Geathers and Burkett teaming up for a 12-yard loss.
setting the edge on defense. Just doing your job on the outside. Brisset does a terrific job getting to the outside and winning that battle of leverage from the outside back inside to where his teammates are.
Remember, this is a North Carolina State offense that averages nearly 7 yards on first down. That's a big loss on first down. And now the crowd behind the North Carolina State offense is getting into Brisset. 2nd and a quarter of the field. And Brisset dragging Terrence Plummer with him across the 10. 3rd and long coming up.
Well, defenses feel energized when you're able to create a sack or a huge tackle for a loss. They start to fly around a little bit faster. So now you have to be very careful if you're NC State. The last thing you want to do here is turn the football over. You cannot be careless with the football. That means ball security in the pocket, and that means not forcing it down the field.
Deep down the field, Hines is there for a first down out across the 45-yard line. "32-yard play on 3rd and 21.
Unbelievable play on 3rd down. Great pass protection, and then a wide open Bo Hines down the middle. We talked about spreading the wealth. That's the first time we've talked about Bo Hines tonight, really. But he comes up with an enormous play on 3rd down.
And he is a security blanket. 1 drop all season in 42 catches coming into this game. Toss play. Days. He does good work in space on the perimeter. Drags Jamias Pittman, the true freshman out of Georgia, with him after a half-dozen-yard pickup. A half-dozen minutes remaining in the first half.
See if NC State can take advantage of that huge conversion on 3rd down.
See Georgia O'Leary trying to get his team alive. You saw Tyson Summers, the 3rd-year defensive coordinator, or 3rd-year staff member at UCF. 1st year full-time as the defensive coordinator. Was the interim DC for the Fiesta Bowl last season. 2nd down and 4 inside of UCF territory. Looking at that trip set on the short side. Brisset trying to buy time with his feet. And throwing to an open man. Hines down the sideline. Diving inside the 5. He's accounted for 77 yards on this drive on 2 big catches.
We talked about the intangibles that he has it from the quarterback position, the way he's protected the football, and he has a knack for finding open receivers.
They're looking to set up the tunnel. Brisset takes a hard hit from Plummer. He lost the football. That was a hard hit by Terrence Plummer on Brisset. It looked like Brisset was able to hold on to the football. Wow, what a hit. Plummer fired up.
Just trying to make a play in the pocket again with his legs this time. He takes the ball and tucks it underneath and gets a helmet right to the face mask. That could have been a helmet to helmet.
Play clock at 1. They get it to Thornton. Not much there. And now 3rd and goal coming up for the Wolfpack. Again, this was the play that we were talking about. Maybe some helmet-to-helmet contact here as Plummer.
It may be initiated at him just below the helmet.
Yeah, that's true.
Right at the shoulder pad area and then slid up, but the initial contact might have been just below with the shoulder.
Clark and Demetrius Anderson coming up with a huge stop for UCF.
That's a big-time stop by Central Florida. 2 enormous plays, one on 3rd and a country mile, that the Wolfpack offense find a way to convert, but this defense deep inside the 5-yard line finds a way to get a stop on 3rd down. Just sliding down the line of scrimmage, being able to find Thornton. Anderson and Clark do a terrific job.
So a 19-yard chip shot here for Sadie, and he's able to bang it through. So the Wolfpack get the 32-yard play on 3rd down to Hines. They get a 45-yarder to set up 1st and goal to the freshman, but cannot convert the touchdown. They do take a 7-point lead. So Pace, who missed Brisset on the previous play, comes up with a huge stop to prevent North Carolina State from scoring. Dave Doran's team will have the ball to start the second half. He's with Kaylee Hartung.
Coach, you didn't want the sack on that last play, but we saw Jacoby Brisset keep plays alive with his feet, and we saw him get it done in the air. What did you make of him in the first half?
He's playing hard. You know, I mean, I told him we can't take a sack. We got to throw it away, and obviously that's not what we wanted. It's not what he wanted. We get the ball back here to start the second half. Just need to continue doing what we're doing, take care of the football, tackle a little bit better on defense.
What's your biggest concern for the second half?
Well, we just got to play 4 quarters. They're a really good football team. They've won a lot of games at the end. It's going to be a 4-quarter game.
Thank you, Coach.
These teams have played some tight games this season, Kaylee, and no shock. We've got a 1-possession game at the halftime break. North Carolina State 17, UCF 10. Vizio College Football halftime report with the best dressed men you'll find. Chris Cotter, Danny Cannell, Robert Smith. Take it away, boys. 3 changes in the opening 30 minutes of play. North Carolina State leads UCF 17-10 at the halftime break here from Tropicana Field, and the Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. Bitcoin and BitPay taking over as the presenting sponsor for the first time here in 2014. Adam Amin, John Kajemi, Kaylee Hartung will join us in a moment as well. Really, the two teams kind of lived up to their identities, I thought, in that first half.
I think so. They protected the football, number one. They made some productive plays offensively, and you saw some hard hitting. Right. But the one thing that NC State has going for it is Jacoby Brisset. I mean, this is a guy that's been Houdini. He's been able to get out of trouble in the backfield, stay out of the bad play, and really create on 3rd down and keep his team on the field and finding ways to get into the end zone. That'll be something that Central Florida has to stop in the second half. They have to find a way to get off the field defensively.
Well, they had a huge stand at the end of that first half. Some big plays on back-to-back drives downfield for North Carolina State, and they were held to just 3 points on those last 2 series offensively. Look at our first half stats. 269-181, North Carolina State outgained UCF, but 2 sacks for the Knights. That stingy defense came up with the most important stand of the opening 30 right at the end of quarter number 2.
You're right, Adam, and they have to be able to affect Brisset in the pocket. He's 10 of 12. He's been able to really dominate through the air, and that has to change for the Knights. They have to come up with bigger plays in the second half defensively to keep their offense or get their offense back on the football field.
Good kick by Galvin, forcing Nichols to his backside and out to the 25. On first down, a run up the middle for Shadrack Thornton, who had his first career pass attempt in the first half, and it went for a touchdown. A reception by Jalen Samuels, which gave North Carolina State a 7-3 lead at the time. 3 lead changes, as we said, in that first half.
I'm sure Shadrack went to offensive coordinator Matt Canada at halftime and said, hey, give me another opportunity.
Give me another shot here.
I think I'm pretty good at this thing.
Shadrack Thornton, downhill runner. 48% of his runs this year went for at least 5 yards. That's the type of downhill runner he is. Bo Hines in motion. He gets the fake. Brisset with time, a confident throw, but not a very good hand catch. Marquez Valdez-Scantling dropped it. He's high school teammates with Shaquille Griffin and Shaquem Griffin. They all went to Lakewood, which is about 4.5 miles away from the Trop. Their high school coach, Corey Moore, is in attendance tonight.
And nothing needs to be said in the huddle on that one. I know Valdez-Scantling came back and said, you know what, that's on me, guys. Just give me another opportunity. He can't wait to see his quarterback come back to him. Hopefully it's on 3rd and 7 to give him another opportunity. Somebody has to make a big play here on 3rd down.
Play clock winding down. Well protected. Brisset over the middle for another first down. It's Jonathan Alston at the 35-yard line in front of Jordan Ozerites. 12 yards to move the sticks again for a quiet leader in Jacoby Brisset.
Tyson Summers, the defensive coordinator, only brings 4 on 3rd down, but great protection in the pocket that time by the offensive line of the Wolfpack. Plenty of throwing lanes to look through. You can see Brisset, he's got one to the left, and he's just buying time to allow Alston to clear coverage and open up over the middle.
Toss play for Days. Matt Days gets the sideline and tiptoes close to a first down. 11 yards to the 20. 4-yard line. Some of the shiftiness of Matt Days. Lost about 15 pounds, added a bunch of muscle from last year to this year. The quickness has been there, though, still for Days.
And Adam, you can see why this team really likes Days out in space. They use him in the pass offense and in that toss game to get out to the perimeter and be able to affect the edge of the defense.
Talked about balance. 4 rushes, 4 passes on this drive. There is Days slipping through a hole. Wow. Matt Days inside the 5. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Solid opening drive here in the second half for North Carolina State.
Statement drive by the Wolfpack. And quickness and elusiveness has been the key. Look at that move inside the 10-yard line by Matt Days. Just runs through the arm tackles.
12 total touchdowns to lead the Wolfpack this year. And they have their largest lead of this ball game. 24-10 the lead. Sophomore out of Weston, Florida, back in his home state. Slipping through tacklers and running it in from 24. Much. Matt Days with a touchdown, and the Wolfpack at the largest lead in this Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. 14-point advantage early in the third.
Adam, that was way too easy to start the third quarter for NC State. If you're a UCF fan, they come right down, use their balance. Brisset even had to throw the football away a couple times just to keep the drive alive, but a couple of big plays in the passing game and a Days run takes it to 24-10.
The Wolfpack have scored on 4 of their 6 possessions in this game. These aren't 2 up-tempo teams, so possessions can be more at a premium when you have teams that do huddle a little bit more. Wolfpack making the most of their chances. And Nicholas Sadie continues to bang him through the back of the end zone. Jacoby Brisset on the sidelines has been sharp. Huge drive for UCF early in the third here for Justin Holman. On the end around, shifty moves by Rennell Hall. A tackle for loss for Rodman Noel. Third on the team in tackles, second in tackles for losses. That's his 11th this season, the senior out of Everett, Mass.
He's been instinctive tonight. He's been always around the football, and he's made a couple of key tackles for loss to really stall a drive before it even gets started.
Is there something you want to see to loosen up the North Carolina State D for the UCF offense?
Sure, I'd like to get the ball to Brashad Perriman. I've been begging for that for about a quarter and a half. Find 11. He's your playmaker on the outside.
It's part of that trip set. Reese goes in motion. Holman from the pocket. It quickly collapsed. He took off. Got that lost yardage back and picks up 10 to the 30-yard line. Running into Hakeem Jones. So 3rd and 5 on UCF's opening possession of the second half.
Strong run by Justin Holman, especially after taking the loss on first down. He sees a crease right up the middle. He breaks 2, 3, 4 tackles and continues to go forward and puts himself in a manageable 3rd down situation. This is where they've attacked the middle of the football field on those quick slants early in the game.
Perriman was on the short side. He's going deep downfield. Instead, the underneath throw for Hall is incomplete. Good coverage by Josh Jones. The UCF, which is usually the defense that's forcing the 3 and outs, they go 3 and out to start their second half.
NC State, they flipped the script on the Knights there. 3 and out. Now they're going to get the football back with a whole bunch of momentum.
Bo Hines will step back to return a Houston punt. Good punt by Houston. 45. 10:32 to play in the third. North Carolina State up 2 scores and looking to roll. The St. Petersburg Shuffleboard Club started back in 1924, where John and I will be, I'm sure, in about 25 years together, hopefully. Just playing a little shuffleboard together.
Don't cheat me on my points now.
From the 42-yard line, Matt Days, the last touchdown for NC State to give him a 14-point lead. And this time, Days will get wrapped up by Luke Adams, but it was kept up the middle. And the ball came loose.
This time, there's a scramble on the bottom.
It's sold the fake very well. Days never had the football, and it's a fumble up the middle, recovered by UCF. Mamea and Niles, part of that front line, along with Burkett, were in there, and Niles came out of the pack with it. It's the first turnover of this game.
And a much-needed turnover for the Knights defensively. A little bit of a zone read going from right to left. The quarterback, Jacoby Brisset, gives the football and then takes it away, but nobody actually grabs it. Days went outside. Brisset left it in the basket a little bit too long and then tried to pull it out. It falls harmlessly to the ground. He tries to get back on top of it.
Stand back. And he got grabbed by the jersey and swung back by Art Norman. A loss of a yard on the play. We've seen Norman in the backfield often in his career, a couple of times in this game tonight. 37th start of Norman's career tonight.
He's fun to watch because he's so active. And his activity behind the line of scrimmage gets contagious. We've seen Rodman Noel make a couple of tackles for loss, but Art Norman's been around the football this entire evening.
And they put that trip set on the wide side of the field here. Reese in motion. Holman seeing pressure in his face. Got rid of it to Perriman, who took a shot from right. And the play is whistled dead inside the 20-yard line. And now some jawing between Tocho and Perriman. Jack Tocho, the sophomore, going up against Brashad Perriman.
Trying to rip the football away from Perriman. He gets a good shot in on the ball, was right. And then you see after the whistle, Perriman needs to be involved. And Tocho right there to make the play on it.
Holman throwing towards the trip set and out of the reach of Rennell Hall. Really not even out of his reach. It was in his hands. Probably could have hauled it in. And a crucial third down play is incomplete.
Boy, when you're down 14 and you get a gift wrap field position opportunity, you have to take advantage. That's a good throw by Justin Holman on the outside to Hall. Hall needs to make that catch for the conversion on third down.
So now from 36 yards, Moffitt, who's already hit from 40 today, tries to cut into this deficit. And Sean Moffitt with career field goal number 53. 5:45 to play. UCF got a fourth down conversion, could not convert on third down in the red zone, but they get 3. Happy holidays from St. Pete and the Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl. 24-13, North Carolina State leads UCF. The Knights come away with a field goal on their last series and get set to kick away. Nichols back to return on this Galvin kick, and Nichols will have to take the touchback. So, a lot to live up to when you play quarterback at North Carolina State. They had a rotation of a couple of guys last year in Brandon Mitchell and Pete Thompson. Brisset has been dynamite. Speaking of dynamite, another strong run by Shadrack Thornton, and this Wolfpack rushing attack starting to get going all the way out to the 49-yard line. 24-yard run by Shadrack Thornton.
We've seen the speed out of Matt Days, and now you get the downhill physical finisher in Shadrack Thornton. He will not be denied, and he cannot be brought down until he gets to the 49-yard line. A terrific job of just keeping those feet and those legs moving north and south.
Over 2,200 yards in Thornton's career, adding to it on that physical run close to the first down marker. Brandon Ozarites and Burkett. 5 minutes to play in this third quarter. And NC State, this is where they're probably at their most dangerous. When they can get big runs to soften up the defense, they've got some guys on the outside that can make a play through the air.
Well, let's credit that big offensive line. They're doing a great job in this third quarter of controlling the game. They're controlling the line of scrimmage. They're providing great protection for Jacoby Brisset and nice running lanes for both Days and Thornton.
Stick with Thornton. Good cut, got the first down. Maybe lost his feet a little bit, but still moves the chains to the 40-yard line. Well, he'll get a breather. A trio of running backs for North Carolina State in this balanced offense. 206 rushing yards per game for the Wolfpack. That was 35th in the country, and it would be the highest by a North Carolina State team since 1981 when Monty Kiffin was the head coach. In shot position, trying to dump it off, and it's caught by Tyler Purvis. 10th catch of the season for Purvis, and he's close to the sticks. Run out by Ozerites.
Offensive coordinator Matt Canada is doing a terrific job for the Wolfpack because he has the eyes of the defense of Central Florida looking all over the place. It's motion, it's a little bit of full flow to the wide side, it's downhill running, it's throwing it. It's a great mix, and that's what they wanted to do. Balance on offense is the key for their success from the middle of the season on.
This time it's Matt Days on the carry, and somehow he explodes through a hole. And has a very good run for a first down, tackled by Gathers.
Adam, you talked about this rushing attack for NC State, averaging 206 yards on the ground. They came into this game with back-to-back rushing yards, over 300 yards per game. They've done a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage and being able to both run and pass it at will.
Wake Forest and North Carolina, those two very strong performances to close the season. Toss play for Days away from pressure. And he slips down the sideline for a good run, stepping out at the 15-yard line.
Good block on the edge by tight end David J. Greenwich. Does a great job of getting that edge and allowing the speedy Days to get outside.
Greenwich, redshirt sophomore out of Newark, Delaware. Outstanding pass catcher, very good red zone target for North Carolina State this season. Part of that young sophomore class, a freshman class. They've got a lot of talent coming back next year.
All around the redshirt junior quarterback.
Second down and 2 with Days in the backfield in the pistol. Big hole. Matt Days, touchdown. His second of the quarter.
High fives all around in red. And a huge crease created by that offensive line. Joe Tooney, the left guard, did a terrific job. He's a guy that's missed 4 games earlier in the year with mono. He comes back and provides a crease for Matt Days to sprint into the end zone.
Sadie playing his final game for North Carolina State. Germany native puts it through, and it's 31-13 North Carolina State. It's a 3-score game now with still plenty of time, 3 minutes to play. And if anybody knows anything about UCF football, they're the Cardiac Knights. They've made it interesting all season long. Still got 18 minutes of game time to play. Sadie has done a fantastic job kicking the football here tonight. That's his worst kick of the night. And it's picked up on the run by Jordan Akins. His first chance at a return this evening. And he'll push the pile out to the 33-yard line, which is the final play of quarter number 3. It's been a back and forth game. It's been a fun night here in St. Petersburg. North Carolina State trying to complete one of the biggest turnarounds in college football from last year to this year, leading by 18 through 3. Bitcoin St. Petersburg Bowl from the Trop. And the folks from Raleigh feeling pretty good right now as we head to the 4th quarter. A 31-13 lead. 2 rushing touchdowns for Matt Days in that 3rd quarter. And an 18-point advantage for the Wolfpack. Great punt by Will Bauman to flip the field on UCF, and they start this drive, a crucial offensive drive from their own 9-yard line. Holman rolling away from pressure, taken off, and he'll take a hit. Took the punishment for it. Arius Moore and Dravius Wright, hard hitters, there for the stop after a 5-yard run to start the 4th quarter.
Freshman and a sophomore. We've been talking about the youth of North Carolina State on both sides of the football. Moore, a freshman in the middle, and Wright, a sophomore at that nickelback, converge on Holman.
Back and forth ball game early. It's a 7-point North Carolina State lead at halftime. Now 18. Pressure on Holman. The pressure gets picked up. allowing him to take a shot downfield, and it's incomplete for Reese. Good coverage by Jack Tocho. Led the team in pass breakups this year, tight down the sideline, and it's third down.
I like the opportunity at going for the deep ball. They have to create some sense of offense and some sense of positive plays, because UCF only 93 yards total in the second and third quarters. They had 112 in the first quarter, so you have to be able to create some chunk yardage plays somewhere in this fourth quarter.
And they haven't been able to avoid these short drives, 3 and outs in the second half. Third down and 5. Throwing on the out route and incomplete for Jordan Akins. Good coverage by Josh Jones. A couple of freshmen going at it there. There's the 22-year-old freshman, though, Akins, former baseball player. And it's fourth down and 5. Another 3 and out for UCF.
Another 3 and out. It just seems they're a step away, or the ball placement isn't as good as it was early in the football game. Just a little bit out of sync offensively.
And from his own end zone, Caleb Houston has to punt to Bo Hines. Short punt of 38. We'll step aside. 14 to play in North Carolina State. Looking to salt it away. St. Petersburg, Florida. It's a quick trip from the Tampa airport, only about 15-20 minutes. Side of the St. Petersburg Bowl, presented by Bitcoin. North Carolina State has done the job tonight, trying to complete one of the bigger turnarounds in college football from last year to this year. I think a lot of fans had the same trepidation about this season as they did last season. Started 3-1, decent start. Then you get into the chunk of ACC play. They end up losing 8 straight games in Dave Doran's first season. And after they started great this year and then had their struggles, I think fans thought the same. More trickery. Brisset on the catch from Bo Hines. Second time that somebody besides Brisset has thrown a pass, and both have been big plays. 1 touchdown, and that one for 20 from Hines to Brisset.
Little throwback, having some fun at the end of this fourth quarter, beginning of this fourth quarter in a bowl game. Offensive coordinator Matt Canada, as you said, Adam, the second time a non-quarterback has thrown a completion in this game for the Wolfpack. Brisset looked pretty natural catching that football.
This guy's just an athlete, a natural athlete. We've seen it all night tonight. First down, Thornton to the edge, tripped up inside the 30-yard line by Pace. We said it, the 4-0 start, then they got to play one of the tougher stretches of anybody in the ACC. Florida State, they face Clemson, Boston College, Louisville. So after that 4-game losing streak, fans are probably thinking, well, here we go again. We go off to a good start. We're going to do nothing in ACC play. And all of a sudden they win 3 of their last 4 ball games, and they really had a strong finish to this season against Wake and North Carolina.
And the game, the season turned in that Louisville game. They felt like their momentum really turned, and it helped them out in November to be able to win 3 of 4 and come into this bowl game with a lot of momentum.
Nice route concept there, slant on the inside and an out to the sideline, but out of the reach of Thornton, and it brings up third down and 7. And what a job by Dave Doran and this staff too. He had a lot of success at Northern Illinois, and obviously you had a Heisman finalist for a couple of years in Jordan Lynch, but the Kansas native, the former Drake Bulldog, who started coaching at his high school alma mater in Kansas and then his college alma mater in Drake. He had a lot of stops before he got a chance at the Power 5 FBS level. And a great turnaround for North Carolina State, trying to finish off what would be an impressive win. Nice deflection over the middle. Troy Gray leapt into the air and knocked it down. So despite getting into UCF territory, a stop by the Knights.
Fortunate Troy Gray, Adam, was in that throwing lane, because Bo Hines on a crossing route looked like that's where Jacoby Brisset wanted to throw the football, and he was wide open.
So Nicholas Sadie will come on for a 45-yarder. He's hit a chip shot from 19 already today. Native of Dusseldorf, Germany, grew up in Munich. Had the distance, had the accuracy for his 55th career field goal. Nobody has done it better in North Carolina State history. Soccer player in Germany, switched to football when he moved to the United States. And Sadie makes it a 34-13 North Carolina State lead. Dave Doran Trying to finish off this turnaround. Oh, he wasn't sure. This kicker nailed it, though. Back in St. Petersburg, Florida. I know North Carolina State leads 34-13, but UCF gave us one of the most memorable moments of the college football season.
Holman has time to unload it. He fires it high, he fires it deep. Perriman's out there, and he caught it for the touchdown! He caught it for the touchdown! UCF wins it!
In what was really the year of the Hail Mary, we saw a ton of them over the course of the season. Rashad Perriman's catch to clinch a share of the American Conference Championship. There's a lot more to that catch, though, right, Kaylee?
Adam, one UCF fan says that catch provided him the inspiration that saved his life. UCF graduate Ben Albertson lay in bed in the ICU as he watched that ECU game. He was threatened by a violent strain of pneumonia. As he began to lose consciousness, he says his last memory was of Perriman's Hail Mary catch. He says he thought to himself, maybe there is hope for me. 3 days of darkness followed, but Albertson fought through. He was released from the hospital on December 11th. He was then married on December 13th. He and his new wife, Jenna, are here today to watch the player he calls his hero.
He sent a letter to Rashad Perriman. Rashad's father, Brett, also got a hold of that letter, and he wrote in that letter that it's a reminder to Rashad. He was speaking to Rashad. He said it's a reminder that what you do on the football field isn't just necessarily about the football field. There's a lot you do on the football field that inspires others that you don't even know about. That was a really incredible story.
Yeah, great play, great story, and happy for the newlyweds.
Yep. Holman escaping pressure, getting off a clean look for Brashad, who makes an incredible hand catch inside the 45-yard line. A little light for UCF.
Adam, if it's me, and I know I've been calling for this a lot, I want to get the football 15 times to number 11 on the outside, Rashad Perriman, because he creates separation, but he creates unbelievable opportunities because of his catching span. He can catch it all around his body, away from his body. I want to give him more opportunities to make big plays.
Came back behind Justin Burris. The blitz is coming. Holman, the pocket collapsing, and down he goes. Mike Rose off the edge. Had 4 sacks over the course of the season. Redshirt junior out of South Carolina, a loss of 6.
And Adam, this is an offense that needs to maybe get back a little bit to what they did in the beginning of the football game. They had some in cuts. They had some short slants. They were attacking the middle of the football field. They have plenty of time to go down and get a score here, make it 34-20, and they can use the entirety of the football field, especially in between the numbers.
Deep drop to let deep routes develop. Holman taking a shot on a fluttering pass, and Mike Rose may have impacted that throw a little bit when Holman released it. He had a man in Perriman downfield, but that kind of wobbled him.
The last couple of plays, this Wolfpack defensive front four getting after Justin Holman, trying to pressure from the edge, and Mike Rose definitely got a piece of the right arm of Justin Holman, the Knights quarterback.
4-down territory for UCF, right, John?
I believe so. You got to make something happen here on 3rd and 16. At least get something back so you have a manageable conversion.
Haven't converted a 3rd down in this half. And a bullet over the middle for a 1st down. Rennell Hall breaking tackles and inside the 15-yard line. Got it all back there. 34 yards, John.
Adam, that was one of the better throws that Justin Holman has made this entire evening. He stands tall in the pocket, under duress, shuffles to his right, and throws a strike to Hall right down the middle, where they had the majority of their success early in this football game. He threw it right on the coverage.
1st and 10. Pressure. Open his reach. Touchdown UCF. A much-needed score for the Knights. And where do they throw it, John? Middle of the field.
Why not? I mean, that's where they had their the most success in this football game, throwing it vertically, and even underneath 10 or 15 yards has been to the middle of the field, in between the hashes. Those 2 plays might have taken 20 seconds off the clock, and now they're back in the football game.
2 touchdowns in this game for Josh Reese. He had 3 on the season, 2 tonight.
This is a good throw and a great route. Everybody's going to the outside. Arius Moore looked like he fell down at the linebacker spot that allowed Josh Reese to be so wide open.
And Galvin has done a nice job of kickoffs tonight for the most part. Nichols will have to take the knee. So a nice kick by Galvin. Toss play for Days on first down. They stuff a very good first down team, and it's Troy Gray with the tackle for loss. UCF made its living on defense all season long. They need to do it right now if they want to stay in this game.
A little bit more energy in the building now and on the field wearing black jerseys for the Knights. They have to be able to go 3 and out here. This is the most important series of defensive football they faced all evening. They haven't had a lot of success stopping quarterback Jacoby Brisset, especially when he eludes the first defender and extends plays with his feet.
Pressure coming, setting up the screen, and a dangerous pass. Looking for Days, and Ozerites broke that play up. That time, UCF seemingly pinned its ears back and came after Jacoby Brisset.
And we haven't mentioned Jordan Ozerites really in the first half. The last play, last series, he was able to get his hands on the football. Now he gets his hands on a second down attempt, 3rd and long. Who can make a play? Who can get to the quarterback and not only get their hands on him, but be able to sack him and bring him down to the ground?
Throw underneath, behind Greenwich, 3 and out.
It's exactly what UCF needed. The fans got into it all 3 downs, getting a little bit noisy in this stadium, and they feel like they're back in it. And that's the defensive stand they were looking for.
Bomb into punt away. A high kick waved out by Reese. Takes a friendly UCF bounce. The Knights down 14 with the momentum and good field position. 10 to play. Well, these two teams squaring off on the field, but this week they joined together for an event called Fill the Bowl. It was a competition to try to fill as many bags as possible with food. UCF actually ended up winning this competition, but the real winners are the boys and girls clubs across the Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg area that get that food, the much needed food to them. A great event this week. It's been a fun week here in St. Petersburg. North Carolina State has dominated most of this second half. They've been very impressive. UCF, though, has a touchdown on their last series. They just came off a 3 and out. More pressure from North Carolina State. Holman is protected. Middle of the field to his favorite target, Pyramid, who took a shot from Hakeem Jones. 18 yards there. Remember, the clock will stop to reset the chains, and UCF will try to run some tempo.
Courage catch on the outside that time by Pyramid.
The 48. Pressure off the edge. Holman got rid of it quickly, and Pyramid able to step out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Remember, the clock will move on the when the referee blows his whistle after the chains are reset until you get to inside of 2 minutes. When you get to that point, that's when the clock will stop, when UCF players go out of bounds.
Plenty of time. 2 big chunk yardage plays, exactly what we were discussing, Adam.
Again, Holman stepping up in the pocket. What a play by T.Y. McGill. Great second effort to get to Holman. And now UCF, because of that sack, has to use its last timeout.
Well, this defensive front has been dominant, and they really are exploding off the ball. T.Y. McGill does a terrific job on Cook, getting around the offensive lineman and being able to bend at the quarterback. He's a big body as well. 289 pounds, all 6'1" of them coming around the edge from the inside.
Second down and 14. Pressure off the edge. Holman taking a shot, and it's overthrown for Reese. This time it was Niles Clark on the coverage. And it brings up 3rd down and 14, obvious 4-down territory at this point. 2:23 still to play.
You know what I'd love to see is that in move that Perriman made on that first big catch. But that little double move where he goes in and then he goes back up to the post, if UCF can protect long enough, that's the key for a double move on the outside.
And you see him 11 at the bottom of the screen. Holman threw it behind Rennell Hall that time. So this is it. 4th down and 14. You're right about, right around 2 minutes, which is about the time when a team doesn't have timeouts. They can't stop the clock on 3 plays. So right at the edge of being eliminated from this game. And North Carolina State, a stop will likely do it here.
Well, you have to dial up your best play offensively. What does Justin Holman feel the most comfortable throwing? And can you protect long enough to allow him a clean pocket to deliver the football?
Stevens guarding Perriman. Holman looking for Perriman. Comeback route, and it's caught by Perriman to keep UCF alive in front of Stevens down to the 24-yard line.
And why not? Give him every opportunity to catch the football with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. He's the best player on this football field wearing a black jersey.
19 yards there. Throw over the middle, and it's caught inside the 10-yard line by Hall. It's 1st and goal. 2:05 to play, and now North Carolina State is on its heels. Hall is in the backfield with Holman. Holman pumps, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Jared Fernandez. Outstanding redshirt freshman middle linebacker brings up 2nd and goal.
I think if you're Central Florida and your offensive coordinator Charlie Taff, you allow Justin Holman to move the pocket, get him going on the wide side, give him that run pass option, to whereas if he thinks he can get the 2 yards with his legs and he's athletic enough, he has that opportunity. But get him outside the pocket and get him a clean look at maybe a trips formation to the wide side of the field.
Quick throw and a back shoulder twisting catch by Josh Reese, having a career day. His 3rd touchdown keeps UCF alive.
Terrific execution from the pocket. Justin Holman throws a back shoulder pass. A little throw behind where only his receiver can catch the football. Very important extra point, but now UCF has life with 1:44 left to go in this game.
And we'll see an onside kick, which will determine the extension of this game or the end of it. Moffitt makes it a 7-point game. Only 1:12 off the clock on that 70-yard drive.
They bring Reese from the trips formation and isolate him outside. This is just good location and great recognition. He's able to almost drop his hips and adjust to the football. And good spot by Justin Holman. Only he could get it. And Mike Stevens couldn't make a play on it. The corner had no chance to fight through the receiver to get to the football.
UCF needs to convert an onside kick here to get the ball back. If North Carolina State recovers, this game is over. Reese is out there. He's had a career night with 3 touchdown receptions. Perriman is out on the field as well. So Sean Galvin trying to come up with a huge onside kick here.
Sometimes teams like to take a timeout just to give a look offensively and defensively and then adjust, but it looks like Dave Doran's going to let it go right now.
Brisset and Hans team out there for both sides. A bunch of receivers. Tyler Purvis grabbed it for North Carolina State. Redshirt senior grabbed it, and now things getting a little bit chippy, and a nice job by the officials to make sure nothing escalates. It is North Carolina State ball, grabbed by Tyler Purvis. What a fitting end to his career. Had a great game against North Carolina in the regular season finale, and he seals the deal for North Carolina State.
Adam, we talked about the youth for the Wolfpack on offense, on defense, on special teams, but Tyler Purvis, the senior, a nice hands catch on special teams. That's why he's out there. The hands team gets called out, and he does a terrific job of securing the victory for NC State.
Well, it was an 18-point game at one point. I'm not shocked that it became a 7-point game, considering what's happened in Bowl Mania so far and some of the finishes we've had. And
in the history of UCF coming from behind this year. Adam, that will to win we talked about in the beginning.
Yep.
It's starting to spread on offense, on defense, on special teams for North Carolina State. You said it, 3 wins last year. They're going to win their 8th game now right here in St. Petersburg.
Dave Doran gets the Gatorade bath, his 2nd season at North Carolina State, and they complete one of the best turnarounds in college football, bettering their 3-win season by 5 this year. They'll finish their season 8-5. UCF, a very impressive year at 9-4, co-champs in the American. 34-27 our final score. 34-27 our final score. North Carolina State with the victory.